Everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a cupcake using Model Magic inspired by the work of Wayne Thiebaud. He is actually still alive as of right now in the beginning of 2021. He's actually 100 years old and he's had a very interesting life. He's done a lot of different work, but one of the things he's most famous for are his pictures, his paintings of things we might see in a bakery or a coffee shop or a candy store. So he's done lots of cakes and cupcakes and gumballs and all sorts of fun stuff, lollipops, and he has also done a lot of landscapes as well. You're looking at one of his cupcake paintings, and one of the things that he was always really interested in was basically how he put the paint on. It was kind of thick, almost like the way icing would be in real life. So if you were to see this painting in person, you would actually see it almost looks like it's painted with frosting because the paint is so thick on the canvas. Now, we are going to use this for inspiration. You'll notice that he uses kind of a lot of pastel almost colors, lighter colors, adds a lot of white to his colors. Not always, he does some things that are a little bit darker, but you can see in this there's lots of different versions of these cupcakes here, different flavors, different colors. So you have some choice in how you want to decorate your cupcake. You can kind of top it with your favorite toppings, but we are going to be doing this with Model Magic. If you have anything at home that you can use instead, if you don't have Model Magic, you could do Play-Doh. You could probably make some sort of Play-Doh at home as well. You don't even need a color. You could just do the white and that's fine. I've actually just made this one here with white. I'm going to show you how to color the Model Magic though if you want to do that. You could also use an air dry clay. You could even make a mini one and use something like a polymer clay. So there's lots of things you could use at home to do this. If you're using Model Magic, I'm going to actually be using 2 of these little 1-ounce packages here. So I say about you need about 2 kiwi-sized pieces total. So I'm going to go ahead and open these up and get those out. Now, if you're working with Model Magic, it's very helpful to soften it up a little bit first. So when you do this, I like to give it basically some squeezes. It kind of helps to soften it a little and make it so it doesn't crack as it dries. So that's the first thing I'm going to do there is just kind of soften those 2 pieces. But you're looking at 2 kiwi-sized pieces. Now, move that up out of the way there. The other things you might want to have, a popsicle stick or something that has kind of a flat edge to it is going to be what we use to make the wrapper lines of the cupcake. And then, like I said, if you want to color it and you're just using white like I am, you might want to have some markers around. And that's what you can use to add color to the Model Magic. So when I get started here, 1/2 of this, so one of these kiwi-sized balls is going to be the base, the cupcake wrapper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it in a ball. This is kind of like making a pinch pot. So I'm going to roll it in a ball. And then once I've got that ball, I'm going to push my thumb in. And I'm going to kind of squeeze it around my thumb to make that shape of the wrapper. You want it to be a little bit wider at the top and a little bit more narrow at the bottom. And I'm actually going to press it down against the table so it gets a nice flat bottom. And then kind of make sure the top is a little bit more wide so you have an angle there. Now, to do this and make the wrapper lines, you're going to use the side of the popsicle stick, or if you have like a ruler or something, you could do that. You want to support it from inside though, so that you don't smush it. And then you're going to press it in, and you want to keep those pretty close together. Just make sure you're always keeping something behind as you're pressing it in, or else you're going to collapse it. And then you just kind of keep turning it and going around and try to keep them as close together as possible. Now, if it loses its shape a little bit, that's okay. We can kind of reshape it a little bit, but you got to be careful not to press too hard. All right, so once I have the cupcake wrapper here, and check the angle there, make sure that looks good. All right, so once that's done, then you are going to build the piece for the top. Now, I would save a little bit of this one and kind of put it aside so that you can do toppings. I wouldn't put too much aside though. Maybe something, I don't know, grape sized or a couple of grape-sized pieces, just so that you can do some decorative toppings as well. So I've got my wrapper in white here. So if I wanted to color this one, what I would want to do is kind of stretch this out. That way I have a wide flat area here. And I'm going to make mine with strawberry frosting. So I think I'm going to use a pink here. I'm just going to add some marker to it. It's not going to be as dark as the marker color because when it mixes with white, you're making it lighter. So it is going to be lighter than this. And I'm going to fold it and add some more. And then fold it and add some more. I think maybe I can fold it one more time here. And then I'm going to mix this now. All right. So I am going to basically, I just kind of break it into pieces and then squish it back together. And that helps kind of spread the color out. You can also kind of push your thumbs into it and sort of push through it, and then it rotates into it and mixes the color. So now I've got kind of a nice soft strawberry pink. All right, so to make the frosting, if you want to do the swirl, that's what I'm going to show you here, then you're going to need to roll like a coil, but a pretty thick one, thick like a marker. If you want it to be more flat on top, kind of like the way these are, then you're actually just going to make a pinch pot in reverse, and then you would put it on there. So I'll show you that method first. So if I just want it to be kind of dome shaped on the top, I'm going to roll a ball and then kind of shape, not too much. I don't want it to be too high, but shape it like that. And then I can set it on top. I really like the twist to this one, so I'm going to show you that one now. So for that one, you're going to be rolling it into a coil or a snake. You don't want to go too thin though. So I would not go any thinner than a marker. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start and kind of turn that end in there. And then you're going to keep rotating it in. And as you do that, after you get a twist, you kind of want to lift it a little and let the other twist sort of tuck up underneath it a bit so that it has some height to it. So it actually kind of stands up. And then you can kind of make sure the edges are pressed down against the table to get it flat. And then that is going to go on top. Now, if it's too small for your cupcake base, you can stretch it a little and it should be fine. You just kind of stretch out the end there. And then again, make sure it's kind of flat against the table when you're done so that, you know, it'll fit on the right way. All right, so that should work and it'll kind of stick on its own there. Might want to wiggle it a little to hold it in place. All right, so now that I have the icing topper, I can think about other things I might do to it. So I could do sprinkles. And this one, I've put some sprinkles here. I put a cherry on top of this one. So you could certainly do that. You could also invent like your own little decorations for the top of it. If you've ever seen fancy cupcakes, they have all sorts of interesting things on them. So you could do, I could like make like a little butterfly for the top of it that maybe looks like it's made out of some sort of frosting or icing of some kind. Or even just like a chocolate candy in a certain shape. So I think I want to make chocolate sprinkles for this one. So I would need a brown for that, or I can make a brown. I'll just add some orange and black here. I'm going to do kind of a chocolate flavored sprinkles and add those on the top. We'll see how dark that gets. Mine might be more of a white chocolate. There we go. I could even get really fancy with my decorations and do like a little flower on top. Anything you can imagine that you might see on top of a cupcake. All right, so when you want to make sprinkles, you're going to take really tiny pieces, like the size of a crumb. You can do them if you want them ball shaped, or you can do those like confetti kind that kind of come out like that. And add those. You just want to roll it in a ball first because that helps smooth it out, and then you can go back and forth like that. So mine are like little mini chocolate sprinkles. You just want to be careful not to go too big. I actually think that one would be too big. So maybe if I split that in half, it's a little bit better of a size. There All right, there we go. So adding some sprinkles like that, you can do things like that. Anything you can imagine. So I hope you have fun. Enjoy making your cupcake inspired by artist Wayne Thiebaud. See you later.